The main thing is that the friendships could be business to start with, or it could be friendship to start with. So business start, then you develop a personal friendship and vice versa.
There are opportunities for our work and careers everywhere, if you know where to look. That's easier said than done, especially in our fast-paced and constantly changing world. Marianne Fairmouth is talking to experts, employers, and job seekers to bring you insight and understanding about what's possible. This is Career Can Do, where we're navigating the new work world.
Welcome to the Career Can Do podcast, a top global podcast dedicated to helping you navigate the new work world. My name is Marianne Fairmouth, and I am just thrilled today to have a guest on our show that I am so proud to know. Merritt Chastain is the executive director of an organization that, again, I'm proud to be a part of by the name of NAPCA. NAPCA, N-A-P-C-A, is an acronym for National Association of Pipe Coating Applicators. It's a fine organization. And without further ado, let me introduce Merritt Chastain. Merritt, say hello to everybody.
Hello, everybody. How are y'all doing? Yes, as Marianne mentioned, I am the executive director of NAPCA. On the side, I practice law. I'm a labor and employment partner as well in a law firm here in Houston. But my love and my life is devoted to NAPCA. So that's what we're talking about today.
Well, we are. And again, Merritt, he's a fine individual. And again, as he mentioned, he is the executive director as well as a very highly regarded employment attorney. I wanted to have him on the show today because we have a wonderful convention coming up for NAPCA in April. And as I said, I've been a member of it for a long time, since 1985. I wanted to ask you, Merritt, in your opinion, what sets NAPCA apart from other industry associations?
Well, from what I've seen and from what I've heard from people in the industry, is that the pipe coating industry is a relatively niche industry. To the extent that you're involved in the industry or you want to be involved in the industry, NAPCA is the place to be because new members constantly tell me that, I didn't realize that all your customers, all your suppliers, all your vendors, and other service providers are all going to be at this one convention. And because it's a niche industry, there's not 10,000 people that you have to wander around and try to find. You can find exactly who you're looking for right off the bat. And so that is part of the reason why it is different than other larger industries, other great, trade associations, very valid, very good trade associations. But in addition, the topics that are addressed are particular to this particular niche industry. And so, you don't have to go to a full day of presentations to hear 4 or 5 ones that don't apply to your business, and then the last one or the first one does. That's why I think differentiates it from a business standpoint. From a personal standpoint, we have members who have been coming for 30 plus years, 40 plus years, have been members for 40 plus years. And they say that this is their favorite convention because in addition to getting the network opportunities, which we'll address later, you can bring your family too if you want to, because it's family oriented. And depending on whether your company's going to reimburse you for it or not, depends on the year, depends on the economy. But it's a very family friendly organization. Many people bring their spouses, they bring their children if it's at a fun place as well, like Orlando or what have you. But I think it's a special organization. And a lot of people have told me that if they had to choose one event to go to in a year, it's the NAPCA event. And it's because of the people, the niche aspect of it, and the fact that it's not just business. There's a lot of friendships that are involved in NAPCA.
I agree. And I belong to many organizations, but I've been a member of NAPCA since 1985. And the other thing, Merritt, that I think is so good about this organization is that you bring speakers to this organization, to these different events, to the annual convention and the summer workshops that have new technologies that they're talking to the members about so that we can be really well informed and talk with our prospective customers, talk with people that want to get into the industry, or maybe you're hesitant to get into the industry, about all these new technologies that are coming out that I think give us a real advantage, the membership anyway. And the people I've heard speak at these conventions, Merritt, are just top notch. And they range from all different applications. So, and like you said too, you can bring your family to some, you can bring your spouse. And I think, with a lot of the newer generations right now, this work-life balance is really, really important. And to work for a company that has a membership with an organization like NAPCA, I think for these companies, from what I hear anyway, my candidates want to go to work for companies. And of course, I'm a recruiter, a national recruiter. They want to go to work for companies that have memberships with organizations such as NAPCA because they can bring their spouse. They can visualize and, see what's going on in the industry. But more than that, it's more of a social event. And I think people more and more these days want to have that work-life balance, want to have involvement with organizations that allow us to bring our spouses or to bring our families to events. Don't you agree?
I definitely agree with that. And what we try to do is we pick like really nice locations, one of a kind areas. And we don't repeat very often in terms of, where we go, the venues. What we try to also do is we want as many people as possible to attend the convention. And so we're at these spectacular locations, but we negotiate very hard to get a good rate so everybody can come and it's not going to be cost prohibitive because, you could be at the best place in the world. And if it's $1,000 a night, you're going to have 10 people in the room. But beyond the locations are what kind of piques everybody's interest. But then you start looking at the speakers and the quality of the speakers. As you mentioned, we've had numerous excellent speakers from primarily the pipeline industry and related industries directly related to that. But this year, this is kind of in the category of a new technology aspect, but we have an excellent speaker from Enbridge, Steve Rapp, who's going to address using existing as well as new pipelines for hydrogen and CO2 transportation and what's going to be involved with that, what coding is going to be involved with that, how feasible everything is, and whether new pipelines are going to be necessary and so forth. We also have an extremely heralded speaker, FBI John. That's his code name, so to speak. He's going to address some cybersecurity issues in the pipeline industry, as well as in the corporate environment. Things that, you hear about, some of these incursions into the pipeline security over the years and the last couple of years and the breaches into various other items. And I think that's going to be a critical presentation as well. And he's going to be our keynote speaker on our first presentation night. Another thing I did want to mention, when you talk about emerging technologies and so forth, there's also not just emerging technologies, but interesting topics important to all of our members. What we do, in addition to the general session speakers that, speak for hour and a half, whatever it may be, we have these breakout sessions. And the breakout session presenters, they're from our member companies. It's their time to give you 20 to 30 minutes. And Marianne has spoken on several occasions about recruiting issues, the labor market, and labor shortage, and so forth. But also there's presentations related to some of the emerging technologies in the industry. That's something that, by and large, our members who attend the convention say those presentations are just as valuable as the general session presentations. And so there's really a lot of good information that's presented there. And as you mentioned, there's a nice social aspect to it. We have various competitions and just, networking opportunities. And so I've had numerous new members tell me over the years, I've been doing this for about 15, 16 years. I've been the executive director since 2009. And that the events that we have and how we present our convention makes it very amenable to networking opportunities. Some of the companies that have been members for much longer have said, we built our business off of NAPCA, from the people that we've met, the relationships we've created, and the knowledge we've gathered. That has helped our business. We may not have built it on that, but it certainly helped everything.
I think so. And I was talking to a client the other day, Merritt, and I said, I got this candidate because I'm a member of this organization called NAPCA. And I was at the convention in the summer and I talked to somebody and they recommended this candidate to me. They said, "Oh, you're a member of NAPCA. You really belong to that." And yes, that gave me some credibility. All right. That I'm a member of NAPCA, that I go to the meetings, that I go to the conventions. I think that somehow in these days and times when there's so much competition, if people know that you know someone that maybe they know, that's the trust level that's interjected into that business deal. And I think right now, Matt, that's so important. Now, this next convention, April 16th through the 19th in Hilton Head, I think that's going to be a fabulous one. And how great, as always, you get these speakers they got their finger on the pulse of what people want to hear about. So tell us if somebody's out there listening and they're hearing this podcast and they might be somehow related to the pipe coating industry and they're not a member of NAPCA yet, but they're hearing this and they're interested. What do they do to become involved or get a hold of you, Merritt? How do they do that?
Well, I'll tell you what, we have a very ever-present website. It's www.napca.com. You can click on Contact Us. You can click on Become a Member. You can fill out an online application, and then that gets routed to me. I route that to the board. Once it's approved, everything's final. So it's a very simple product. We've tried to streamline it. There's not a whole lot of phone calls or email traffic that's necessary. If we have a question, we'll follow up. But yeah, this is the time. We've had numerous new member applications that have been approved, I would say, within the last 2 months. And it's usually during the convention period when people are like, "Oh, wow, this sounds like a great opportunity for my business." And so they will contact us and, we'll go through the membership process. But, what I'm happy to say is that COVID did a number on a lot of organizations, but we are at our pre-COVID convention attendance levels, workshop attendance levels, as well as our membership levels as well. And so we're really excited about the future, about the present, frankly, but also about the future. And one thing I did want to add is that being a member is a fantastic opportunity for anybody in this industry. But as you know, Mary Ann, and everybody that's derived benefits from the association, is that you have to participate. And, Mary Ann's been a member her company's been a member since 1985. We have companies that have been members since 1970, 1960. I believe this is our 59th year in existence. But, there are some companies that will join and they think that you pay your dues, you get in the association, you get listed on the website, as a member, and that's all you need to do. But what the members that have actually gotten benefits out of it will say is that you have to attend the events. You can't really network by email. And so, come to the events, attend, get the information from the speakers, from the presentations, participate in the association. And frankly, that's how you get the benefits from it. So,
well, for sure. And studies have shown too, Merritt, getting away from your day-to-day routine makes you more productive. So when you go to these events, you go to these conventions, they're at these cool places. The food is always wonderful. The entertainment is always great. The speakers are always phenomenal. You go, you spend 3 or 4 days, 5 days, you come back, you're renewed, you're rejuvenated. You meet people. It's just a great event. I never miss it. I don't think I've missed one in I don't know how many years. I still look forward to it because also I've cultivated friendships from this organization. If I really am trying to get into a new client that's not been working with a recruiter and somebody in NAPCA knows this client, I'll pick up the phone and say, hey, John, you know that person that's ABC company, and you tell them I'm a member of NAPCA. Oh, yeah, I'll call them up. When I call, oh, hi, Mary Ann. Jim told me about you. How can we work with you? If I was as a member of NAPCA, they wouldn't talk to me. So there's so many benefits, the social, the educational, the relationships, the networking. Obviously, you can tell I'm a big fan of NAPCA, and I'll always be a member of NAPCA. So for all of you out there, we got a great convention coming up. If you want to see your business grow in 2024, and you've got something to do with the pipe coating industry or new technologies that might be related to that, it'll all be on my website, fairmouth.com, but certainly investigate this organization because it really is a solid one, a premier one. The people are quality. Merritt runs a great organization. It's real high end, but yet it's real. It's down to earth. People form relationships, friendships, business focus. You can tell I'm all about it. So, Merritt, I really appreciate you taking the time today. I know how busy you are, but I just think this organization is such a good one that I wanted to have you on the show. So, I always like to leave our listeners with two salient points. In Merritt, if we had to give our listeners two reasons, two salient points, two reasons why they should want to be a member of NAPCA, what would those two be?
Well, I tell you what, first of all, I think that it would be very beneficial to your business if you're in the pipe coating space. If you're not, then this may not be the association for you. The second one is you can create lifelong friends, but the main thing is that the friendships could be business to start with, or it could be friendship to start with. So business start, then you develop a personal friendship and vice versa. But the association, it's not a fly by night organization. We've been around for, as I mentioned, about almost 60 years. These are real people, as you mentioned. We have speakers that come and say, these are the people that I want to present to because they do things. It's not all in the ether. It's not just doing this. You make stuff, you produce stuff, you do whatever. I just think it's a fantastic organization. I don't have to do it. I really want to do it. That's why I decided to start doing this about 15 years ago, because I wanted to see this grow and thrive just as it has in I guess, probably 4 years before I joined. So before I started doing it. So,
It's a
fantastic.
wonderful organization. NAPCA, NAPCA, National Association of Pipe Coating Applicators. Check it out, y'all. You won't be sorry, and you'll have fun. It's where the new work world for sure is going because it combines learning with social, with friendships, with business development. It's got it all right? And that's where we're going in the new work world. So again, Merritt, thank you so much for your time. My name is Mary Ann Fairmouth. We'll see y'all next time. Bye-bye.
All right. Thank you so much.
We thank you for tuning in to our Career Can Do podcast. We make no guarantees on results for your particular quest, but we hope you enjoy the information presented. The views and opinions expressed in this program are solely that of the guest or speaker and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of Mary Ann Fairmouth and Fairmouth and Company. Thank you.